Vic's name is Jessica Marnier. She's a temp secretary. Car wash's owner knows her, says she comes in every week.
But just to wash her car, right?
Right. Miss Marnier didn't strike him as the kind of girl who did drugs.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Something tells me that the outside of the car is the only place that's clean. Before we get down to it, what's the status on your partner here? I heard Huntby talk to the sheriff.
He did. And the sheriff talked to me about conducting a formal review of our DNA testing protocols. Which I did. Nothing was compromised.
But I'm sure that won't satisfy the feds.
They can satisfy themselves. We've got more pressing matters to deal with. Right now, let's leave the vehicle where it is. So that means we'll only have full access to the front seats. When we have the coroner pick up the body for autopsy and impound transport the car back to the garage at the lab, we'll be able to finish processing the rest of the car wash.
That's the victim's roommate over there. Her name's Veronica Carver. The owner of the car wash called her. All right. Well, I'll run our victim through the database, see if anything pops up. Let's get this done by the book, you two.
Looks like she's missing an earring. If our victim OD'd, then that may be our murder weapon. This GPS unit is broken. I'll take it back to Archie and see if he can recover any data from it. Our victim might have gotten into convulsions and knocked the GPS out of its holder. We've got a usable print. Probably our victims. We better run it anyway. It's a needle mark. Probably from the syringe we found. The surveillance camera's aimed at the car wash's entrance. If it's working, it must have caught our victim driving in. I'll check with the owner. Hello, Ms. Carver. We're from the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We just need to ask you a few questions.
Okay, sure. I mean, of course. I'm just a little, shaken. I see death all the time, but never like this. Never someone I was close to.
You see death all the time?
Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? I mean, I'm a registered nurse. I'm sorry if I sound a bit out of it. It's just that when the guy here at the car wash called me about Jesse, I'd just gotten off work in a double. He called me around 9 p.m., by the way, if that's important for you. Drugs? I really don't know. Maybe some pot occasionally.
Pot. Never anything else. You know, Veronica, it'll really help if you tell us the whole truth.
Okay, I've seen Jesse use cocaine a few times, but just recreationally. This is Vegas, right? Sometimes you do stuff you don't exactly write home about. Yeah, I knew about her little road trips. Jesse told me she liked to come here because she just loved the sound the brushes make as they clean your car. I guess they sound pretty damn good when you're stoned. I wouldn't know. Jessie seemed like she could handle it, But all those drugs. Oh, who was I kidding? I should have done more to try to stop her. I should have tried to help her. But I only tried to mind my own business and pray she got better. Jesse's my roommate. What was my roommate? We live like 10 blocks from here. Just Will. I mean, his name is Guillermo Rice, but everyone calls him Will. He's an old school friend of mine, and he's Jesse's boyfriend. Oh, God, how am I going to tell him about this?
Thank you, Ms. Carver. You've been very helpful. Go get some sleep. We'll be in contact if we have any more questions. I'll call down to the coroner's office to arrange for the body to be picked up. Okay, we have traces of cocaine and morphine in the syringe. Mixing uppers and downers, particularly two as strong as these, definitely runs the risk of heart attack, seizure, or stroke. That's consistent with the scene we found. We'll just have to confirm COG with Jock Robbins. Well, it's definitely been used. So the fingerprint on the GPS holder isn't Jessica Marnier's. It belongs to Emmanuel Molina's. And according to Mr. Molina's arrest record, he's no stranger to possession and distribution of narcotics. Right now, he's on parole, so we have an address for him. I'll have Brass pay him a visit.
I've completed the autopsy on Jessica Marnier. Come on down when you get the chance.
Hi, Doc. What you got?
Your victim's COD probably won't surprise you. Acute myocardial infarction caused by intravenous ingestion of benzoyl methylecgonine and morphine. Based on liver temp, I'd say her time of death is somewhere between 8 and 10 this evening. I did recover some skin cells from under her nails. Here they are. The pattern of the bruising is very suggestive of a 4+1 on both arms.
Fingers on one side, thumb on the other.
Someone held your victim hard enough to leave an impression. I'd say very close to the time of her death. Tox indicates high levels of benzoyl methylecgonine, but you know it better as cocaine. There are also toxic levels of morphine. This particular drug combo you might also know better as a speedball. Inflammation of the tissue inside the nasal cavities is definitely consistent with recent habitual use, and dare I say, abuse of cocaine.
So Jessica Marnier may have been looking to kick her high up a notch.
Yeah, because it's all fun and games until your heart stops. Yes, it is. You know, this may be nothing, but your victim's medical records indicate that she was right-hand dominant. So you'd expect to find any injection points along her left arm, not her right. But maybe she was just desperate for a good vein. Obviously, I can't say anything with absolute certainty. But what I can say is the bruising and the injection site are not inconsistent with the passenger inside the vehicle around the time of your victim's overdose.
That passenger, maybe Manuel Molina's. We need to talk to him as soon as possible.
You're also going to need Jessica Marnier's DNA and prints.
Hey, I just thought you should know. Something strange has come up with Agent Huntby. No one can find him. It's been 48 hours, so the feds are asking me to put out a bolo for him. I don't know what's going on, but it's not good. I'll let you know if I hear anything else. Also, we didn't have any luck finding Manuel Molina's at his home address. Got a bolo out on him, too.
Impounds delivered Jessica Marnier's car to the garage. I want you to process it very carefully. I also want us to go back to the car wash and make sure we didn't miss anything. Now that the vehicle's gone, we can process the rest of the car wash. Let's take a better look at those brushes. Red fiber. The employees here wear red jumpsuits. I'll see if I can get a sample for comparison. That's a cup Veronica Carver was drinking out of. And it was lying there in plain sight. So, we don't need a warrant to collect a sample of her DNA. The owner of the car wash has kindly provided us with their surveillance footage. There was only one camera, but it might have picked up something useful. Looks like there's some residue on it. Better get it analyzed. That little tear could have been caused by any number of things. See if you can narrow it down a little. That might give us a clue as to what exactly made that tear. I've got that sample from the red jumpsuits the employees wear at the car wash. Fibers don't match. You know, the owner told me he just replaced all the brushes in the car wash, so anything on them that isn't from an employee is probably something that was deposited there very recently. Benzoyl methylecgonine. Cocaine. Benzoyl methylecgonine. Cocaine. Benzoyl methylecgonine and morphine. The speedball cocktail. But what's it doing in the tear on the headrest? Let's pay Doc Robbins a call down in the morgue. Benzoyl methyleconine and morphine, the speedball cocktail. But what's it doing in the tear on the headrest? Let's pay Doc Robbins a call down in the morgue. So how did Veronica Carver's DNA end up under Jessica's fingernails? It's probative, but not enough to get a search warrant. We need to dig deeper. Jessica Marnier's fingerprints may be on the syringe, but it doesn't completely explain why she may have injected herself in the right arm when she was right-handed. Guillermo Rice. Veronica said they just call him Will, and he's Jessica Marnier's boyfriend. Looks like he's also familiar with narcotics. Mostly misdemeanor possession charges, no convictions. Bags full of pure cocaine, and Jessica's boyfriend's prints on it. According to the timestamp on the surveillance footage, Jessica Marnier drives into the car wash at 9 p.m. Now, Robbins puts her time of death at somewhere between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. So we're closer to pinpointing her exact TOD. Wait, what's that? Jessica appears to be wearing both earrings when she pulls into the car wash. And look, the GPS is in its holder. So it definitely got knocked out while Jessica was inside the car wash. Hi, Doc. Got some more questions for you about the overdose case.
You've learned something new?
There was residue of benzoyl methyleconine and morphine in and around a tear in the driver's headrest of our victim's car.
Interesting. It certainly suggests that the needle used to inject Ms. Marnier came from behind her. Well, if there had been a struggle, then I'd say it's very possible the syringe needle may have gotten caught in the fabric of the headrest. I'm just about to review my autopsy notes and re-examine the body. I'll let you know if I find anything else.
Let's hear what Will Rice has to say. We need a warrant, and Jim's our go-to guy.
Based on what evidence? All right, so you have Will Rice's prints in the car and on a used plastic bag of cocaine, which was also part of the cocktail that killed Jessica Marnier. Nice work. I'll get you your warrant.
Good evening, Mr. Rice. Thank you for coming in to talk to us.
Yeah, well, it's not like I had a choice.
No, you're right. Courtesy has a way of getting trampled under the momentum of a homicide investigation.
Homicide investigation? I thought Jessie died of an overdose.
So you knew she was a drug addict.
She wasn't a drug addict, but yes, I knew she took drugs sometimes.
Mr. Rice, before we discuss your relationship with Jessica, we'd like to learn a little bit more about you. Records we have indicate you dropped out of college not long ago.
I did. I felt I was pretty much spinning my wheels in school, so I chose to get out into the real world. School of hard knocks, right?
Not if your parents are paying all the bills for you. What is it that your mother and father do again?
You leave them out of this. They're good people. They're hard-working people who took me in when I was a child and raised me as their own. Whatever this is all about, it has nothing to do with them. You understand? We were in love. We'd been dating almost a year, and we moved in together 6 months ago.
So things were going well.
Yes, they were. I wanted a future with her, but what's the saying? Man plans and God laughs. No one. The only thing I can think of, she only mentioned it once. She said she had a brother who was murdered. That's all she told me. She didn't want to talk about it. Do you think that might have had something to do with this? V and Jessie? Wouldn't call them close, but they got along okay most of the time. V and I sort of dated back in high school, so I think she could sometimes be a little overprotective. I was at our apartment, asleep.
Can anyone verify that?
I don't know. Veronica, maybe? Like I said, I was asleep. Look, I know you think I did this to her, but I could never hurt Jessie. I loved her. She was everything to me.
On a used bag of pure cocaine.
Look, we party. We like to have fun. We've done some coke. Together. No, that's not my thing. I seriously doubt it. But, you know, like I said, there were some things that she didn't want to share with me. This? I've had it for years, but it's actually become what I like to call our communal sweater. Probably anybody who's ever been to our place has worn it at one time or another. Jessie used to say it was like a house pet that we didn't have to walk or feed or clean.
We're going to need a sample of it.
It's not like she tried to hide that from me. It was just something she said she needed, like a ritual.
Well, Mr. Rice, at the very least, your print on the bag of cocaine is going to interest the district attorney. I'd say your continued cooperation with us might go a long way to convince him of your sincere desire to make amends. You can begin by providing us with your DNA, as well as permission to search your apartment.
Again, how could I possibly say no?
I finished re-examining the body, and I did find something important. A second injection site. It's situated high in the back of the victim's neck, concealed along the hairline. Based on the bruising around the wound, it would appear Ms. Marnier was injected in the back of the neck before she was injected in her right arm.
A red sweater somehow found its way to the crime scene. We need to ask Will Rice what he knows about it. Not many 20-year-olds can afford a place like this. Will's parents really take care of him. How we try to buy a child's love. All right, let's get down to business here. The warrant only gives us permission to search the living room and Will and Jessica's bedroom. Veronica's room is out of bounds. Wait a second, is that someone in the shower? We didn't recover Jessica's cell phone at the scene. This one may be hers. Let's get it back to the lab and run it and see who's left this voice message too. Is there something inside that book? Recognize who's in this picture? She may be 20 years younger, but that's Beatrice Salazar, the queen of the hive herself. She looks pregnant. Funny, I don't remember reading in the case file about her having a child. I wonder what this picture is even doing here. Look, dust the clippings for prints, then let me handle it from here. Until the sheriff and the FBI are on the same page with us, it's best if I take any heat on anything related to Salazar. Run that print. We'll keep searching the newspaper for more, but let's just see who else is interested in Beatrice Salazar. Good job. I don't think we're going to find any more prints on that. blonde hair. Jesse and Will are both brunettes. Medicine bottle. Let's get it analyzed.
Jesus, who the hell are you?
We're from the Las Vegas Crime Lab. We have a search warrant.
Damn, you scared the hell out of me. I didn't hear you guys come in.
Excuse me, aren't you Manuel Molinas?
Yeah?
You're just the man we're looking for. You know, Mr. Molinas, for a man on probation, you certainly are hard to find.
You know, you call me Mr. Molinas, and it's like I'm looking over my shoulder for my dad. Call me Manny, okay? Look, I'm gonna be totally straight with you. My PO knows exactly where I am at all times. If you have a problem finding me, I suggest you discuss the situation with him. Now, what do you want to talk to me about?
Jessie died of a massive overdose, Manny. She use around you? Was she a customer of yours?
I'm on parole. I don't sell nothing to nobody. But, man, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but yeah, you know, I seen her smoke a little weed, maybe toot a little blow from time to time, but it ain't like she's some crack hole or something. I'm fresh out of jail, so where am I living? A place where the only way I'm gonna get the man to fix my plumbing is at gunpoint? Know what I'm saying? And I got enough problems. So Will was kind enough to let me rinse off at his place. Yeah, but you know, I'm down with the ladies too. It's just that me and Will, we go way back. He's like a brother, man. She cool, pretty tight. You know, what can I say? My man Will, he totally dug that chick. To me, she was just all right. Not like we were into conversating much. So, I don't know what to tell you. My print is there on that particular item because, wait for it, I installed it for her last week as a favor to Will, because it ain't like he's Mr. Tool Time.
That's all the questions we have for now, Manny. We'll be in touch if we have any more.
Well, if you have a problem finding me, you know who to talk to.
I'm gonna dig around a little more in Mr. Molinas' past. I'll let you know if I find anything. I need to talk to you. Sheriff just got off the phone with the FBI. They still can't find Huntby. It's like he's AWOL. So now, the feds don't know what to do about his accusation that we mishandled potential DNA evidence on the Salazar case. The sheriff called in a favor, and we got the statue back that you originally tried to recover the DNA from. Let's re-swab it and see if there's anything we missed. I know the situation is starting to go from weird to worse, but let's just try to stay focused on processing the evidence. Veronica's hair and Will and Jessica's bed. So, either someone was cheating or maybe Three's company. Morphine, one of 2 essential speedball ingredients. No wonder the sample got corrupted. There's already sodium lauryl sulfate on the surface of the statue. So when you tried to process it the first time, you were actually applying twice as much SLS as you needed. Someone tampered with this evidence, all right, but it wasn't you. We need to talk to Brass right now.
What's going on?
There's a development in the Salazar case.
They find Agent Huntby?
No, but there's a new reason to be looking for him, Jim. We found sodium lauryl sulfate on the statue. It was put there before the DNA was ever taken. Someone deliberately rigged it so that the evidence would corrupt as soon as we tried to process it.
And Huntby's the last in the chain of custody. Well, just before you, that is, right? Good work clearing your own name as well as the reputation of the lab. I'll forward these results to the feds.
You know what this means, don't you?
The Queen of the Hive has drones inside the FBI. I'll keep you posted. And you guys, watch your back.
Will Rice left his print on the newspaper clipping. So, Will Rice has his hands on both morphine and cocaine. But is he a murderer? Seems as though our victim handled this press clipping on Beatrice Salazar. So, Will and Jessica have an interest in Salazar. I wonder why. Let me handle this. I don't want you to worry about getting mixed up in any more controversy. If there's another issue, I'll take the hit.
You can't just walk away from this, Jesse. You think I'm just going to stand by and watch you use him? You gotta stop messing around with him, you hear me? Manny's a low-life scumbag. I'm telling you, Jesse, if you hurt Will, I will kill you.
That voice sound familiar? Sounds like Veronica Carver. She left that message on Jessica's voicemail the night Jessica died. I think Will Rice was right. Veronica sounds very protective. Manny's a low-life scumbag. Well, she's certainly not a fan of Manny's, but it seems like from Veronica's point of view, Jessica might have been. Veronica had access to the sweater. She neglected to mention getting into a fight with Jessica the night of her death, so I wonder what else she's not telling us.
What do you got in the way of evidence? So she never said anything about getting into a fight with Jessica? It's suspicious, but do you have anything that actually ties Veronica to the crime scene? So you're telling me you matched this DNA sample to another one you recovered from a styrofoam coffee cup? A coffee cup Veronica Carver allegedly threw away at the car wash, but you didn't actually see her toss it? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need more. So Will Rice alleges this is a communal apartment sweater, huh? Meaning he and Veronica both had easy access to it, and it matches the fiber found in the car wash brushes. Okay, let's bring her in.
Miss Carver, your roommate died from a lethal injection of cocaine and morphine, but she didn't inject herself. Someone stabbed her in the back of the neck with a needle, and then that person tried unsuccessfully to make it look like an accidental overdose.
You mean Jesse was murdered?
Yes, and we have some additional questions for you.
Sure. I mean, whatever I can do to help.
Mr. Rice claims it's left out in your living room, that anyone and everyone can wear it. Well, we found a fiber from it at the crime scene.
Weird. I wouldn't know how it got there.
You seemed pretty shaken by her death.
I kind of knew about Jesse's struggle with drugs, so it was bad enough to think she'd OD'd. But now you're saying someone killed her. It's just hard to wrap my mind around the whole thing. But yeah, we were really close, and I'm going to miss her a lot. Look, it's not like we didn't have our differences, and we lived under the same roof, so yeah, we argued every once in a while, but now all that stuff we ever fought about seems incredibly stupid.
Ms. Carver, on your voice message to Jessica, you told her, and I quote, "You can't just walk away from this." Walk away from what exactly?
In all honesty, I really didn't feel she was treating Will right. I knew she was keeping things from him. I mean, he knew about the drugs and the road trips, but there were other things. Calls she'd step outside to take. She was always texting somebody. And then there were times when she'd leave the house and I'd ask her where she was going, but she'd refuse to tell me. She just had too many secrets. I saw Manny pick up Jesse from the house a few nights ago. Obviously, Will wasn't home, and I was supposed to work a double that night, but I got cut. Jesse didn't think anybody was going to see her take off with him, but I did.
You certainly sounded angry in your message. You said you'd kill Jessie if she hurt Will.
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I was very serious about confronting Jessie about the lies she was telling to Will. But that didn't mean I was really going to kill her. I mean, it didn't even mean I was going to throw down with her or anything. I'm not into violence.
Okay, so if you were planning on having this civilized discussion with Jessie about her dishonesty, could you tell us how your DNA ended up under her fingernails?
It started out civilized, then the volume got turned up, and it got a little physical. Jessie pulled my hair, and she slapped me. She denied everything.
Does this picture mean anything to you?
No, never seen it before.
We believe it was familiar to both Will and Jessie.
Could have been. I don't know. Neither one of them ever showed it to me. I know what you're thinking, and for the record, I got over Will a long time ago. But now we're roommates and we're really good friends, so yes, I have been known on occasion to visit with him in the bedroom he shares with Jessie. I've sat on the bed. I've probably even taken a nap on that bed, but that is the extent of my activity in that room.
Don't leave town.
I'm not going anywhere.
It's Nick. I'll put him on speaker.
Hey there. So I recovered that data from Jessica Marnier's GPS. I'm uploading it to your case file right now. So here's how it breaks down. She starts out at her apartment, then she heads over to an address belonging to a fellow named Manuel Molinez. Then she goes to a dry cleaner's and then back to her apartment. And finally she ends up at the car wash. Hope that helps you guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Nikki. Another sin of omission. Manny didn't tell us he'd seen Jessie. Let's pay him a visit and see what else he's hiding. I just got off the phone with Brass. You want to hear something interesting? Brass was going over Manuel Molina's records, and guess who Manny allegedly ran a shipment of drugs for last year? Beatrice Salazar. Of course, that connection was never fully substantiated, but isn't it curious how we can't seem to get out of her business? That'll probably be from Manny's latest round of community service. Anything outside of the trailer like this is in plain sight. We don't need a warrant for it. Okay, Manny's got a picture on his phone of Will and Veronica together, apparently rekindling the old flame. Phone looks pretty clean otherwise. Hang on, there's a message in the sent box from Manny to Jesse. I'll download it into your case file. It says, "She's dangerous, don't risk it." I'm gonna guess she is Veronica.
Come in, officers. Mi casa is... never mind. Su casa probably ain't a dump like this, huh?
Manny wasn't lying about the plumbing. This place is a dump. We might want to call a building inspector.
You can call the bomb squad if you think it'll get my toilet fixed.
Hang on, we can't take that until we've got a warrant.
What you need, officers? You didn't come out here because I'm popular.
Well, not only did you fail to mention that, you also made it sound like you barely knew Jessica.
Yeah, well, she blew by. You know, real quick like. Just wanted to ask me something about Will. Get a guy's perspective on the situation. That sort of thing. I was surprised to see her, tell you the truth. If you can smoke it or snort it or stick it, I've sold it. But that's like past, you know, tense. I'm on parole, but you guys already know that. So, if you're really asking me if I sold to Jesse and or Will, my answer's no. I ain't the only dealer in town, right? But you guys already know that, too. Like I said, only way the guy's gonna fix it is with a gun to the head. And I'm already on probation as it is. It is what it is, you know?
Seems like Will and Veronica have been rekindling their old spark.
Damn, I was wondering where I left that thing. Look, I snapped that photo, but I shouldn't have, because it ain't my business. Will's gonna do what he's gonna do, right? And that's that. So I was just gonna leave it at that. Know what I'm saying? I was gonna delete it as soon as I could remember where the hell I left that damn phone.
And what about the sent text message we found that said she's dangerous, don't risk it?
Okay, it's like this. Jessie wants to go all Oprah and talk to this puta about her possessive nature. And I think about it, and I text back, no, I don't think so. You know, she's kinda dangerous and all that.
Exactly how dangerous is she, Manny?
All right, she ain't like dangerous, right? She's just straight out loco. That's all.
We're gonna need to take your phone.
No problem. Take what you need. Take it all, man. No, I mean, seriously. If Veronica has anything to do with what happened to Jessie, then I want to help you guys do whatever you need to do to nail her.
Does this mean anything to you?
Whoa, haven't seen that face in a while.
You worked for Beatrice Salazar. Is that right?
Beatrice Salazar? Who's that? You must have me mistaken for somebody else. Somebody with a death wish. That ain't me, my friend. Yeah, it is. I'll be like, you know, counting the seconds and stuff.
Veronica's been lying to us from the start. It's about time we got a warrant to search her place. Let's talk to Brass.
What evidence do you have? If she's been lying about this, then what else is she lying about? Okay, I'll get you that warrant.
Okay, with a warrant for Veronica's room, the entire apartment is fair game for our search. That looks like Jesse's missing earring. It's Nick. Hey, Nikki, I'm putting you on speaker.
Hey, I just got off the phone with an administrator over at Desert Palm Hospital. Veronica Carver said she got off work at 9 p.m. Well, according to the administrator, her shift actually ended at 7 p.m. Let me know if you need me to follow up.
Will do. Thanks. A laptop power cable. But where's the laptop? That looks like it's a cable for the laptop in Manny's trailer. Didn't he say it belonged to him? Nice find. That print may tell us more about what that cable is from. That fiber doesn't look like anything from either Jesse's car or Veronica's room. Looks like Manny used the power cable at some point. Why would he charge his laptop in Veronica's room?
Is that a serious question? I don't know. Maybe I was charging it last time I was over there. Who knows?
Okay, is that your story and you're sticking to it?
Okay, bye.
We just want to ask him some more questions.
Well, believe it or not, even though he's on parole, we can't necessarily just bring him in whenever we feel like it. Have you tried talking to him at his place?
We just want to ask him some more questions.
Well, believe it or not, even though he's on parole, we can't necessarily just bring him in whenever we feel like it. Have you tried talking to him at his place? All right, I'll set it up.
No, I told you before, Will and I are just friends. Very close friends. What the? Who took that? Look, it's just a kiss, that's all. A kiss between friends.
Ms. Carver, the truth is you've been lying to us from the start. Give me a reason why we shouldn't arrest you for obstruction right now.
Okay, the truth is, Will and I were getting closer again. But it was all because of Jessie. All her secrets and lies. They were pushing Will back to me. Honestly, I wasn't trying to manipulate anything. I really tried to do the right thing, I swear. But the heart wants what it wants. Excuse me, but what the hell kind of question is that? Jessie always went to the car wash alone.
Veronica, how did Jessica's earring make it back to your room?
I have no idea how it got there.
Ms. Carver, when you gave your initial statement to us, you said you finished your shift at 9 p.m. But when we checked with the hospital, they said you actually finished your work at 7 p.m.
I don't know. Maybe it was around 7. Look, I don't remember. Jessie was dead. I was in shock.
You had access to the morphine from the hospital, and you had access to the cocaine from Will, and you wanted Jessica out of Will's life once and for all.
I couldn't have killed Jesse. I was with Will, okay? We were in bed together. Please, just ask Will. I might not be an angel, but I'm no killer either.
Do you usually let Manny charge his laptop in your room?
Manny? If he has a laptop, I don't know anything about it. The only laptop in my room is Jesse's. I'll admit it, I was snooping. I wanted to find out what she was obsessing about, but I couldn't get into any of her files. There was some kind of password or something.
Sounds like we need to have another talk with Manny.
Don't leave town.
I'm not going anywhere.
She also said it should still be in her room. Are you sure that laptop belongs to you, Manny?
Look, Will asked me to pick it up, bring it over to my place. So maybe he didn't tell Veronica about it. And now I'm like, I don't want to really dime out my bro, but there it is.
I think it's about time we took a look at that laptop everyone seems so interested in. Let's ask Brass for a search warrant.
Okay, bye.
Based on what evidence? It would certainly be interesting to see what's on that laptop, especially if it belonged to Miss Marnier.
Doesn't look like Manny's around, but the search warrant still applies. It's the same model of laptop as the cable we found in Veronica's room. Jessica Marnier's infamous laptop. Let's get this back to the lab.
All right, I'll set it up.
What? No, I mean, that computer was really important to Jesse. I wouldn't mess with it. I told you, we haven't been together in a long time. Where the hell did you get that?
Your bro, Manny Molina's took it. Now, do you want to tell us what's going on between you and your high school sweetheart?
You guys really are a piece of work, you know that? Veronica and I were sleeping together. Is that what you want to know? Well, there you have it. That still has nothing to do with what happened to Jesse. I'm not proud of it, but it's the truth.
And you didn't think to mention this alibi a little earlier?
Hey, maybe you can switch gears that fast, but this thing with Veronica was a big secret. A problem for me.
Something's causing that leaking. Let's see just how full of crap Manny is. Well, that could have been a lot worse. Looks like a worker's glove. Why would Manny try to flush that? It's a match. This ties Manny Molina's to the crime scene and to Jessica's murder. Let's take this to brass. The data on Jessica's hard drive was encrypted. We were able to open it up, and we found a motherlode of information on Beatrice Salazar. Nick's going through it all now. Somehow Jessica Marnier had access to sensitive FBI files, but she's not a current or former employee of the Bureau. Otherwise, she would have been flagged as soon as we ran her prints. There's also a lot of information about a Robert Marnier, a federal agent who was murdered a few years back while investigating Beatrice Salazar. I'll do a cross-check. Looks like Robert Marnier was Jessica Marnier's brother. No wonder she was obsessed with the Queen of the Hive.
You're not going to believe this, guys. I was digging through Jessica's FBI files on Beatrice Salazar, and it turns out she has a son. She gave birth over 20 years ago, but persuaded the hospital to cover it up by designating it as a stillborn. Then she secretly put up the boy for adoption. An informant later claimed the boy was adopted by a very nice, very rich family. Last name of Rice.
Will Rice?
The very same. So, it looks like Jessica was convinced that Will was Salazar's son. She also made several notations about Manny Molines. She knew about his connection to Salazar.
We have access to both Will's and Salazar's DNA. Let's see if there are 7 alleles in common. Jessica was right. Will Rice is Beatrice Salazar's son. But the question is, does Will know that?
I got an update on Huntby. The feds are now completely convinced Agent Huntby is compromised. They're rolling out all their assets to apprehend him. And so are we. If I hear anything else, I'll let you know.
I don't believe it.
Mr. Rice, I'm finding it very hard to believe you didn't know about Jessica's personal obsession. I'm finding it even harder to believe that once you found out about it, once you found out that Jessica believed you were the son of the woman who had her brother executed, well, I can't believe there weren't consequences.
You go straight to hell. I told you I didn't know about any of this.
What evidence do you have? The glove ties Manny to the crime scene and the murder. And the Salazar link can't be ignored. You got your arrest warrant.
That laptop was full of information on Beatrice Salazar. Jessica believed Will Rice is Salazar's son, whom she gave up for adoption about 20 years ago. And she was right. I'd say that's the kind of information that got her killed.
What do you want me to say? I have no knowledge of this situation with this lost mother and son.
And Jessica knew that too. Your name was in her notes. It certainly wouldn't look too good for you if Salazar found out you'd been selling drugs to her son all this time.
I swear to God, I don't know about what's on that computer. Well, he must have forgotten he told me. The hell I did. I mean, I've been to jail and all, done some shady stuff, but I ain't no killer.
Your glove left trace evidence on Jesse's earring. Jessica Marnier visited you on the night of her death, and just like you said, she was there to tell you about the situation with Will, about how she discovered you were both connected to Beatrice Salazar. Will was her son, and you were her flunky, and that's when you realized you couldn't afford to risk the Queen of the Hive finding out that you were her son's pusher, especially when it was a son she'd been keeping secret all these years. So you took the red sweater Jessica had accidentally left behind, and then you mixed a deadly cocktail. Sourcing the ingredients was pretty easy for you, and with your expertise, you knew exactly how to use them. You found your way into the back of her car, hid there, and when she was distracted, you injected the speedball into her neck. You hoped injecting the rest of the mix into her arm would just make it look like another overdose death in Vegas, washed up and washed out. But when you were through, you noticed you had a problem. One of her earrings had come off during the struggle, and you accidentally took it with you. So you carefully removed it with the gloves, and then you decided to take out a little insurance policy. You left the earring in Veronica's room when you went back to the apartment to drop off the sweater. You took the laptop from her room and returned to your trailer where you tried to flush the gloves. And if you had better plumbing, you just might have gotten away with it.
Dios mío. Dios mío. You gotta understand. I had to do it. This girl, she knew too much, and she wanted too much. You know she wanted me to set up some kind of happy reunion between the Queen and Will? That's insanity. I tried to warn her that Salazar is loco dangerous, that she shouldn't rattle the hive, but she was obsessed. I did what I had to do. Believe me, jail will be heaven compared to what hell the Queen would have done to me if she'd found out I'd been messing in her family business.
That's Will Rice. It's really too much to hope that any case involving the Queen of the Hive would end neatly or cleanly. What can you tell us?
He was found in an abandoned warehouse downtown. Marks around his neck are consistent with strangulation. Wasn't a hands-on job. The bruising pattern suggests some kind of ligature was used. In light of recent events, my first instinct was suicide. But skin under his nails suggests this young man fought for his life. We're looking at a homicide here.
We need to run that DNA right away.